McKenzie, Medley, LMPD. Why'd you fucking kill Michael Newby in Jefferson County up on 46 and Market Street? LMPD, KSP, Homeland Security and military industry. America's not Germany.
Okay, so Jonathan Masters out of Louisville, Kentucky. The police are absolutely out of control. I had mentioned a little bit in my Louisville mayor tapes that about the police brutality that had happened to me. And there was 2 points I want to make before I go on and talk about all these other police brutality cases that's been going on in America. Okay, so the first point is with my incident that happened last year, 2012, December. To be able to understand if the person is in the right or in the wrong, all you need to do is just switch the roles. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. In school, whenever there was a fight, the school officials would just banish both of them, just kick them both out. So if somebody picked or provoked a fight with you and you responded, then you were going to get kicked out too, which I think is total bullshit, because if the person who starts the fight is the most important, element to it. You're just sitting there like, I don't know if you're at the library or whatever, just sitting there studying, and some, some fucking person just comes up and starts poking you and starts giving you shit. I think you have a right to defend yourself, right? So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's just because you have a badge and a uniform on, that doesn't mean you're allowed to break the laws. It doesn't mean you're allowed to be, assaulting and murdering and stealing. You can't do those type of things. A badge doesn't, the rule of law means everybody's underneath the rule of law. A badge doesn't mean you get away with breaking whatever laws you want to break. So switch the roles, okay? If, like I said, if I was in the library and somebody was poking me and then I, slugged them back, would I be in the wrong? I don't think I would be. I think self-defense is intelligence, right? So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. All you got to do is just switch the roles. So let's switch the roles. If I was the police officers that had beat myself up and the police officers was me, right? So okay, so I'm driving my car, I'm at a stop sign, I'm going to pull this donut, I'm going to pull this U-turn just right in the middle of the intersection because I don't give a shit. So I just sit there and whip it around, I'm driving around, and I'm in a plain white car, and I look like myself, I guess. It's plain clothes. He had a baseball cap and a flannel that he was wearing, and so he's in a plain white car, or I'm in a plain white car, and the cops are crossing the street, okay? I'm switching the roles. So the cops are where I was at, and I'm where they were at. So by switching the roles, okay, I'm driving my car, my white regular car, just a Corolla or something, just some plain, just, everyday car, nothing that says police, no sirens on it. I'm driving my plain white car. I do a donut in the middle of the intersection. One of these police officers are trying to cross the street, and as they're crossing the street, they get right in front of my U-turn maneuver. No, fuck you, police officer, get the fuck out of the road. Right? Same shit they said to me. Get the fuck out of the road. They almost hit me. They almost ran into me. Get the fuck out of the road, what they said. So I'm driving I'm doing a U-turn right in the middle of the intersection. And I'm, driving wildly, about hit the guy, about hit the police officer. And then I tell him to get the fuck out of the road. And then if that cop doesn't like it, if that cop tries to say, hey, fuck you can't talk to me like that, then I'm going to jump out the car. I'll be like, well, what now? What now? Here I'm driving all wild, I'm cussing your ass out, I'm about to hit your ass, and then you want to cuss back at me? That's what you're going to do? So now I'm out the car and I'm saying, what the fuck you want, cop? What you want? Huh? What would the police officers done in that situation? I'm driving recklessly, I'm driving wild, I about hit the motherfucker, I'm sitting there cussing at the dude, and then I jump out in the middle of the intersection, 4th and M Street. So this is right in the middle of a busy intersection, right? Do this stupid ass fucking U-turn, I'm cussing, about hit the guy, and then I stop the car in the middle of the street because I'm a police officer. I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want to do, right? Stop in the middle of the street, jump out. What the fuck do you expect? Like, what would you expect that I'm going to do? You seriously think that I'm driving wild, I'm cussing at you, and about hit you, about run over you, and then I jump out the car as soon as you say fuck you back to me? Get the fuck out of the road, no, fuck you. Oh shit, now it's on, motherfucker. That's what it means. If I jumped out the car, I was looking for a fight, I was looking for something to happen, and if the police officer was in the middle of the road, he would not have put up with it, he would not have tolerated that shit, I would have been arrested and I would have been sent to jail. Now switch the roles back to how it actually was, because I'm not the police officer. That's what they did to me. I'm walking across the street and they did that shit to me, okay? And the punishments just keep on going on and on and on, right? It was total bullshit. There's $28,000 in medical bills. They filed a felony assault on me for assault of a police officer. I'm looking at 5 years in prison. They throw other 3 little misdemeanors on me. They're just throwing every charge they can just so something sticks, and something did stick. Disorderly conduct was dropped, resisting arrest was dropped, assault of police officer was dropped, but the jury of 6 older white women had stuck me with menacing. So I got a $400 fine. So $400 fine. I got it, menacing's on my record. Hopefully it can be expunged later on. The $28,000 in medical bills. Who the fuck's got $28,000 in medical bills, $28,000 just for walking the street. One day I just wanted to walk to the store 2 blocks away. That's a crime in America. The LMPD jumped me in my own backyard. And like I said, the punishment just keeps on coming. The hits don't stop. There's $28,000. There's all the felony charge. And then I'm sitting there just bleeding all over the place, bleeding on myself. And they're sitting there trying to ask me questions as if like, oh, hey, we can be buddy-buddy. Yeah, no, I just probably deformed you and fucking made you, to a monster. And there is something, psychologically, I don't look the way I looked before. And so, I feel different. I feel like a different person because of my appearance is different. And also, when I sleep, my nose actually whistles. So the girlfriend that I was staying with, or that was staying with me at the time, she left me, right? She didn't want to be around. Like, I was real sad, and I wasn't getting out of bed and shit, so I wasn't really trying. But, I understand it. Like, how does anybody want to be intimate with me? I've been in the same room where somebody snores, and it's like, absolutely, it's horrendous. You can't concentrate. You can't think of anything else. It's the only thing you think about. So not only that, the injuries just they just keep on piling on, right? The fucking, I'm deformed. My face is different. I'm making weird ass fucking noises to where, nobody want to get close with me. No intimate relationships. And then after that night, they beat me up. I'm up to the side. They're sitting there going along. One interesting thing, Joel Casey did say if I would have ran away, he wouldn't have chased after me. So it wasn't a priority. It wasn't, a big deal to him. He just was, don't you disrespect me, right? I'm a cop. I'm allowed to drive around. Even if you don't think I'm a cop, I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And lots of, actually, folks here in Louisville have been killed by plainclothes police officers. Because how can you tell? If you're a police officer, you should have the lights. You should have the sirens. You're a public official. So you're doing public official business. Everybody should see what's going on and what's happening. So you should be clearly visible, clearly wearing a uniform, clearly having a car. Everything about you should just say police officer. If you don't do it that way, then motherfucker, just any motherfucker, these motherfuckers jumped out at me like they was thugs. Just out of the neighborhood. It was a bad neighborhood, South Louisville. There's prostitutes, people popping off guns. U of L one dude right in front was pop, pop, pop. I got robbed 2 times. My car was busting into. They took out the radio, and then they later on busted out the back window and took out this broken radio. So it's not a great neighborhood. It was safe enough. I never, there's some, I guess, undesirables around, but they never fuck with me. They never did, they robbed me twice, but I'm just saying not directly to me. It was, at nighttime. So I wasn't worried about them. The citizens have never jumped me like that. They've never been on some sort of violent road rage rampage, just like Joel Casey and Aaron Browning were that night, but that's what they did. That's what they were on. And it's bullshit. Reverse the roles. It's clear that I'm not in the wrong. They are totally in the wrong. I was doing nothing. I wasn't running. I had nothing in my hand. I was wearing sweatpants. I was just going to go to the store, come back, and sit in my house and watch TV. That was the plan. So if you switch the roles, you obviously, can see what the truth and what justice would be. But the truth and the justice does not matter for the LMPD. truth and justice is like the last thing for the LMPD. The whole time, I mean, just go on down the line. So after this happens, I have to go to court for about 7 times. This is hanging over my head. I'm looking at 5 years in prison. I'm trying to go to college so I can better myself and do something in the world. I don't go out. I don't go drinking. I don't do anything that would, put myself in any type of danger in any situation to where I might, get into trouble or get fucked up or something might happen. So I'm just sticking my nose to the grindstone. I'm sticking with, just reading and writing and doing my schoolwork. But I can't just do that, right? They have to fuck with me for no apparent reason. At no point in the entire incident did they give a shit about truth or justice. The judge didn't care about what actually happened. In fact, actually, at the very end, I went to go the next day to pay the fine, and I'd actually got there a little bit late, and I come up to the court, and he's sitting there, and there's about 5 police officers. This is at the Louisville courthouse, I think room 209. And I go in there, and I'm in front of the podium, and he's talking to me, and he was like, here's what I did with it. You just pay your fine, a month later on down the road. How come you were late? And I was like, I overslept. And then I wanted to tell him that I thought it was a fair trial. Even if he was against, what I was doing, I felt like I had lawyers that were from outside of Louisville, so he knew he had to do shit by the book to where there was no appealable offense. He didn't want to fuck up the trial to where, it would have to be a mistrial or done again. So I said thank you for the fair trial, and then the judge immediately he turns around and he says, he goes, well, to be honest with you, I think some people think that you got what you deserved. You punched him, he punched you. In the story, right? Yeah, like as if that's it in the story. It's like no, that's not that's not the case at all. So anyways, I just told him to switch the roles. If it was a police officer in the middle of the road and I about to hit him, what would have happened to me? And he said, oh, he would have kicked your ass. And I said, that's exactly what I was doing. And the judge says, you need to get the hell out of my courtroom right now. I was like, thank you, Your Honor, and I got the fuck out of there. But still, I mean, he kind of showed his ass on that. He wanted me to fucking be convicted. He was disappointed with the verdict, not because it didn't go the way he wanted it to, because it went the opposite way he wanted to. They were not happy about it either, so, everybody's dissatisfied with it. The grand jury knocked the assaulted police officer down. They do not think I'm a felon because I'm not a felon. I pose no threat to them. They only pose a threat to me. And they're supposed to protect and serve me. I said 2 points. So, I don't know, it's, the other point is the lesson that I learned from this entire thing. So, when I didn't know who they were, and they were jumping out at me, I did have my fist up. I was ready to fight. I didn't know who these fucking assholes were. There's 2 of them in flannel. Just some, racist fucking redneck fucking loudmouth drunken idiots. Okay? Just fucking stupid fucking thugs, just fucking, road raging, having a good time, looking to fuck with any random person that they run into. So when I was ready for them, okay, come on, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? They're sitting there trying to grab a hold of me. They're sitting there swinging. They can't land nothing, right? I'm blocking. And then eventually one of them says, hey, we're the police. And I'm kind of like, what? What? You're the police? How are you all the police? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. The way you all conducted yourself from point A to point B up until the middle of the street, how are you going to say that you're the police? So the lesson that I learned, okay, is once they told me that they're the police, I immediately put up my hands and I said, okay, well, what do you want me to do? And then Aaron Browning immediately just throws me down on the ground. And then while I'm down on the ground, they punch me while I'm on my back. They punch me in the face, right, while I'm on my back. Big, brave, courageous men, right? Probably beat their kids. I mean, that's about as courageous as they actually are, right? Pick on kids, shooting kittens, right? In Ohio, they're shooting kittens. So this is the lesson that I had learned was when I surrendered to the police. That's when I got my ass kicked. That's when I went down. That's when they beat me up. That's when I went to jail. That's when, I got molested. I got even beat up farther in jail. And then, thank God I was able to get out, because really, when you're around a bunch of fucking psychopaths like that, they just didn't like something that I had said. So he was being a smart ass to me, and so I was a smart ass back. And so they took me in the back, and there's about 3 of them, and they had put me down on the ground, and they lifted me up, and then I had hit my face, and I'm bleeding all over the place. And this was right after they had frisked me, right? So they touched my chode, right? Saying, ooh, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, as if they touched my chode, it would turn me gay. When they did it, I'm like, You're the faggot. You're the one that's touching me, okay? You're the queer. You're gay. You want to sit there and try to, you know, what, put that shit on me? Like, ooh, I'm going to do this to you? And then at the very end, when they had beat me up and I was in the holding cell, he came back and he was like, you do know I'm not gay, right? I was like, whatever, man. Like, nobody was paying attention. There was no witnesses. Whatever, man. He came in, unlocked me, and then I was released. So the lesson I learned, when you submit to the police, you get your ass kicked. But when you're ready and you stand up, it makes me think of the Hunter S. Thompson quote, if the best way to protect yourself from the system is to never get into the system. Stay off the grid.